Welcome, my friends, to an impromptu live stream. What the hell is going on? Wow. Grace Randolph, Twitter. What the hell? We're having a good day so far. I feel like Grace Randolph is voicing some of the stuff or putting in text a lot of the stuff I've been trying to voice for the last few months here. That it's not a problem to tell somebody that they need to grow and move on with their lives. This should be interesting, says RJ. And speaking of RJ, welcome, buddy.
Hey, what's up, Brian? I am on an iPad right now because the power's out. There's a giant snowstorm going on. Everything's
Oh man.
crazy. So if my connection's bad, I do apologize.
Well, heck,
but-
man, you're braving the elements to come and hang out with me, and that's what matters. Andrew Casali says, to be honest, after the Thunder Cut came out, I ignored DC news for months. I tried, buddy. Okay, see, I tried, but I made the mistake of hanging out with a bunch of DC Snyder fans, and maybe for too long. I don't know, but it just kind of got to the point where I have to do something, say something, just get it out of my system. And I've done it before, which is really sad. This is probably like the fourth or fifth time I've had to like kind of just get a little bit of a release in terms of what's been going on. Blinded Braille says, please don't hold back on these man babies. They're obsessed girlfriends who don't want to end a relationship. It's creepy. Yes, I agree. At this point, it's been 7 months. The girl said no back in March, right after the movie came out. Oh, shit. We lost RJ, but that's okay. I'm sure he'll be back. Hey, Rayo, what's happening? But yeah, so anyways, let's see here. The shot heard around the world today was our girl Grace Randolph.
Yeah, I put it. We were talking a bit in one of the private group DMs we're both in. I said that basically she chose violence today. She came out, she came hard, she came quick, and she was done. She dropped the mic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And to be perfectly honest, one of the last things she said in her tweet, and I actually retweeted it off of Matt this morning. Yeah, I'll have to like actually bring that one up because
yeah, well, she's been tweeting up a storm. I mean, she even replied to Mercury saying, "Well, Grace, there's still hope, isn't there?" And she's like, "No, it's done." Which, I mean,
yeah.
You know.
Well, okay. Let's be honest. We've all been in a part of this, and
yeah, and I don't want to get into a debate about the fandom or if it's not happening or not. It's not like what I'm trying to do, at least, but I will say her response the response she's been getting has been really interesting to me. That's number one.
Well, absolutely. And I feel like she's just tired of dealing with it because she's taken a lot of flack over the last few days. By saying things, in essence, saying things that people just didn't want to hear. And unfortunately, that's life.
The thing I don't like, and again, I'm not trying to talk about the fandom. I know this is not everybody. I have to be very clear and careful about words lately.
And that's something else that kind of irritates me is the fact that we have to beat around the bush. Okay, if you do not identify as one of these fans, I am not talking about you. So if you're one of my friends that I go on stream with all the time, I am not talking about you.
That's the thing,
it straight.
Right? I mean,
get it straight.
Yeah, because again, I wouldn't associate with people if I felt that they were acting in bad faith, they were, anything like that. And here's the thing, though, right? I'm seeing some people come out today and say, well, looks like Grace is on Warner Brothers payroll. Looks like she's getting paid off. Or people, and listen, Max, you're probably watching this. I love you, buddy. I love you, Max. But saying that Grace is just trying to keep her access, no. That's... And I'm sure you'll talk about it tonight, and I will be watching and listening. And this is on his public stream. I'm not talking about anything he said privately. I'm just talking about what he said in the comments of his live chat. Bro, I'm sorry. I know, Brian, you kind of laughed when Max said. It's just like it's a little.
I had to laugh.
It's a little
much.
much.
Man. That's the most I've ever seen somebody jump through hoops to defend Grace Randolph for anything. I support everything she said. Because I mean, let's be honest, okay? If Ben Affleck doesn't want to do it, why the fans are being, in my opinion, they're being very selfish, which it comes across as very entitled, and that's one of the things
Mm,
that I've noticed from a bird's eye view of this. A lot of the Snyder fandom, it's just I just don't understand it. It's a bubble that they've chosen to live in, and sometimes hearing stuff that they don't want to hear it ruins the bubble, and I understand that, but it's like,
mm,
dude, that's life, man. Dude, I grew up in the 90s. I got made fun of all the time for being a nerd and being into nerdy stuff. It's a lot different now because we have nerds fighting and bullying other nerds. It's like, come on, man. Like, I know the internet's to blame for a lot of this stuff because it's really easy to be anonymously a dickhead, you know?
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, just speaking about this now, someone sent this to me. One of the directors of Batgirl, Adil LRB. He's on Instagram, right? And he posted some pictures of Batgirl. I don't even remember what he posted, and everyone's like, "We're gonna boycott this dog shit. You betrayed us. You said it was Ben Affleck." I'm like, "Come on,
Yeah,
stop."
no.
And he's just replying back with bad emojis. Like he's not even saying any words. Just like bad emoji, bad emoji, bad emoji.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, come on, everybody, relax.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not trying to be negative and take shots at everybody, but one of the things that Grace Randolph said that really stuck out to me was the final thing I'm going to say. There are some people whose entire identity is wrapped up in the Snyderverse hype. So they'll never let it go, never stop giving you hope, but for very wrong reasons. Okay? I see this on a daily basis.
hmm And I can't help but feel like, and again, I'm not trying to start anything. I'm not trying to, stir the waters or throw shade at anybody. But I can't help but feel like she is directly talking about a lot of what we would deem as some of the social media leaders that are currently involved in this movement.
Yes. Especially the ones that propagate, let's just say fake, for lack of a better term, fake news.
Mm,
And there is a hell of a lot of it. And I'm sorry, it's messed up because, like, when you've been in something, involved in something for almost 2 years, kind of like I have. Um, thankfully I wasn't involved with the Snyder movement more because I don't know how I would have lived with myself.
mm.
Um,
Well, you're seeing kind of today where again, it's really funny because about a week ago, or not even a week ago, a couple of days ago, excuse me, when Grace dropped that report about the Flash, everyone's like, "Oh, it's just Grace. Why are we holding her word so special?" And now all of a sudden, because she basically threw in the towel and dropped the mic, now it's all like, "Grace,
yeah.
what do you do?" It's like now all of a sudden they actually really care about
Well,
what she has to say, and they're fighting with her to keep up hope.
and this is
So,
this.
do you value what she says or do you not?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
No, you're being picking and choosing what you want to believe from Grace. It's the same thing that's what really bugs me about all this is that it's the downright dismissiveness. Okay, who's Ann Sarnoff?
She's the president of Warner Brothers Pictures.
Okay, so does her word carry weight?
Yeah, I mean, I know some people argue with that and say, well, they can't be trusted because there's no confidence with the studio right now. But I'm like,
That doesn't matter.
no, to me it doesn't matter because again, she's the boss. She's the one in charge as
That's
of this moment. Yeah.
that's the law that's been laid down for people to outright dismiss everything she said right after the movie came out because they were angry, and then to see it all playing out right now in front of our eyes. It's like that's where I'm at because it's like I don't want to look like an idiot, and I don't want to persist in looking like an idiot. I just don't see the point in that. And I'm sorry if they might take that the wrong way. And like I said before at the beginning of the show, I am not talking about any of my friends. And if you have a problem with me, well, I suppose you can come on and we could talk about it. But I'm just, I'm not talking about you. Okay. I'm talking about the fact that every time I open Twitter, I see nothing but this crap. And I was like, what? Get off of Twitter. Why? Why should I have to leave something because y'all made it bad?
Mm.
I mean, I understand it's the grown-up thing to do. Just kind of throw your hands up and walk away.
Well, apparently you can't do that anymore because there's rage quitting, which is like, you know, I get that too. I understand. I understand where people are just like, come on, we shouldn't have to you know. But if people want to walk away, let them walk away, right? I mean,
And if people want to rage quit, let them rage quit.
yeah.
Like, don't take things so personal, man. I said it earlier in a tweet. I was like, you want to know why people leave and talk shit when they do?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, have you ever worked a bad job and you said, you know what? F you, you're cool. F you, I'm out. And that's the way I look at it, man. Like, I don't pull no punches anymore because this is starting to get irritating. Just
No, it is, and like I said, I hate how we have to clarify this so many times. I'm not. It's not a case of the whole fandom or the whole movement being rotten to the core. There's some amazing people still involved with that. But at the end of the day, right, it's like stuff like this, it's just, hey, what's up, Saggy?
love you
Um,
too.
it's just, I don't know, man. It's just, it's getting to be a lot, right? And
Well, it's like trying to tell your friend that the girl's just not that into you, but you're like, I wrote her a song and everything, man. It's gonna work out.
mm, yeah, and again, it's just, I feel like the whole thing's reached this boiling point where we've come to an immovable pass, right? We've come to an impasse, right?
Yeah, we've come
To
to an impasse. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like, uh, I don't know.
Well,
I don't
well, the
know.
way I look at it is like, dude, if you want to keep being delusional, that's fine. Just like I won't be involved. Sorry,
No,
like
and like I said, like here's the thing too. Is there a chance it could continue? Of
yes,
course. There's always
there's a
like a
chance
chance.
for everything.
Yeah, there's a chance for everything.
It's
And,
like, have you still watched that movie? Don't Look Up Yet. Like,
mm,
there's a part in one of the trailers where it's like they're like it's a 99% certainty we're all gonna die, and the chief
mm.
staff's like, it's not
And
100%. We can
yeah.
work with that. It's like, oh my
And you
god.
know what? And you know what? I want to say this too. This is something I saw a lot today too about Grace. People are getting on Grace saying, "Why are you speaking for Ben Affleck, saying he's done?" Right?
Why are you
But but
speaking for him?
but why are you speaking for him and saying that he's not done? And I'm
Yeah,
gonna be frank. We all do that. We're
yeah,
all speaking for Ben, even like because we want to support whatever our argument is. You're speaking for Ben if you're trying to cherry pick words or statements from other interviews saying no, he will come back for Zach, right? And to an extent, you are speaking for him when you say he seems like he's done. Let the man's words speak for themselves. What has he said? He said he is done with IP movies. That is exactly what he said. There is no cherry picking with that. That is his words exactly. Until he clarifies what he wants himself, I
yeah,
will respect what the man's words actually say. And that is a big distinction. I will not speak for him and say, well, if Zach comes back, he would obviously say yes. I don't
yeah,
know that. That's me speaking for him.
yeah,
And I don't know
absolutely.
he's 100% done either. All I can do is respect the man's wishes and respect what he's actually saying. In
Yeah, in the
both
here and
camps,
now.
people need to do that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, exactly, Saggy. So I'm going to respect my friends who want to keep doing this by not being a part of the conversation with them. Absolutely. One of the things that's helped me is going to bed earlier. I don't have to be involved in the conversation
I'm gonna be
because I'm in
forced to have to
bed.
do I'm gonna be forced to do that because I'm gonna be starting school up again and interning and all that. So I'm gonna
Well,
be
no,
busy.
there's more important things, man. Like, you shouldn't be tying your whole existence to a fandom of any kind.
Mm,
It's just not right. You go out, get a job, man. Learn life skills. If you're not going to school, go get some work. Like, you'd be surprised at what you could learn just working at McDonald's. Like, you learn life skills working at jobs like that, and it's just a shame that a lot of people don't want to do that now. Let's see here. I'm going to continue to speak my piece. If my friends don't like it, they don't need to be my friends anymore. I'm starting to feel that way as well. I don't like getting stifled when I'm on stream sometimes, and I feel like I can't say certain things because of friendships and stuff. And like I said, people know,
Mm.
they know me. Okay. I haven't changed on my stance at all. The only thing that might be a little bit different is my level of aggression. And right there, Saggy, yeah, gloves are off with me too. Right on. Because like I said, I'm done, man. I don't want
Well,
to
I
hear any
think
more
that's also the
reasons.
issue too, where it's like I think you said it very well, Brian. Where it feels like we have to dance around and tippy toe around certain subjects because we feel like, well, we can't actually say what we want to say because it's going to turn into an argument and we're going to hurt people's feelings
Yeah, no,
because
no,
people are so emotionally tied to this, and I
oh,
understand.
I
I
get it too,
understand being
man.
emotionally tied to something that you love and you fought for so many years, but you have to let people disagree. You have to let people be open about how they feel. I don't think it's fair, for example, like, and I was open and honest about this. I said, I think it was on Max's stream or Jarbo's stream when we did that whole restore versus release thing. That stream, the kind of like the bookend to the conversation about the fandom. I said, could I have done things better in regards to talking about the toxicity in the fandom and calling out certain individuals? Probably. I am not perfect. I
And
never will be
we all
perfect.
could have.
We all could have done something better, right? However, I find that it is completely unfair that people have vilified people like me, Jarbo, and Saggy simply for having a difference of opinion, right?
Well,
To where now I'm seen as just a puppet of Jarbo, and Saggy seen as just a little minion of Jarbo, and Jarbo is now being thrown out as the villain of the whole movement, right? And
yeah.
that's unfair to all of us. And listen, again, I'm not saying anyone I know personally, like as a close friend, is doing that. I'm just saying, general attitude has gone that way because people want a villain. People want to find people are seeking to find someone to hate on, to direct their emotions towards.
Yeah.
Because again, they are in a state of confusion and they are in
Oh,
a state of grieving, whether they
well,
want to
he's
admit it
the,
or not, and they're trying to direct their emotions and anger towards other people who have nothing to do with it.
oh, that's why I made this meme here yesterday. Let's see. Um, shit, where did I put it? There it is. But yeah, no, I totally uh, understand.
Yeah,
It,
and that's fine. I can take people throwing jabs at me or insults. I don't care. I don't care. Like I'm not gonna get upset about it or complain about it. I some of it's funny. Some of it really makes me laugh, and I will gladly deal with it. But again, that is funny by the way. The 5 stages of Grief Snyderverse edition.
okay, so this is something I have been noticing, and thankfully, I think a lot of them gotten over the denial phase, and they're in the anger phase. Um, I got all this out of my system after Ann Sarnoff said what she said.
Mm.
I can even prove it by going to Enosh's stream. What was like 2 days after the Snyder Cut came out? When I sat on stream like this, just dejected, sad, depressed. Yeah, I was on stage 4. You know,
Mm.
maybe a little bit of bargaining by saying that the Snyderverse really isn't over. It's part of the
Well,
DCU as a whole.
how many times, Brian, have you been like, you've talked to people like, well, maybe that could happen. I'm happy now. I'm optimistic. It can happen, guys. Then all of a sudden you went back to like stage 2 or 4.
Yeah,
You
no,
know.
you revert. See, that's the bargaining phase. And I understand the anger. Trust me, I get it, man. Like we all had
Mm.
well,
And here's the other thing that gets missed in all of this. We all want to see it continue.
yes.
Nobody is saying that. Oh, I'm gonna eat these sloppy Hamada burgers up, right? Like no one's saying that. We all want it to continue. All of us, right? I mean, we're just in a state right now where we just don't see a path forward, and that's okay. That should be okay.
Exactly, Goku. This is it. We're talking. We need a nerd therapist. We need somebody to come in and set people down and be like, "Hey guys,
We need Dr. Phil.
what you're feeling is perfectly natural. Okay, just know that I'm here for you." I mean, there's a lot of snark in this, but it also comes from the heart. Okay, I am trying to be funny, but I'm also trying to be, somewhat accepting. Um, that's why I said like acceptance is the Batman. You know,
Mm,
that's quote unquote moving on because that's not tied to anything that we're talking about in stages 1, 2, 3, or 4.
right. But then again, I then some people are made to feel like they're assholes for wanting to support that movie, which is like, whatever. I'm gonna watch what I want to watch. I don't care if you think I'm a fake fan. That's personally fine. I don't care anymore.
Sri says, personally, I'm going to put my personal feelings, beliefs on hold, not leaning either way until there's something more of an official word. Yes. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Till then, I'll enjoy my box set. And that's the point I've been trying to make, like on all these streams that I go on. It's like,
You
okay,
guys won. You guys got a movie that nobody thought existed. Celebrate that.
yes, yes. Well, I mean, here's what I can understand some of the anger because that article clipped the knees out of the fun.
Oh
So
no, it did. It
I
did.
could
I
see why
understand
it,
anger towards
it
that, but
gets
like, it
so
feels like it.
dismissed. But
Yeah, but it feels like it's been lost. It's like, guys, you got a movie nobody thought existed. You won. You won, and you won a victory that is literally gonna go down in Hollywood legend forever. No matter what happens from here, you won. You got an amazing Justice League movie that nobody thought even existed. Like, celebrate that. Own that.
what's up, MSK man? How's it going, buddy? Welcome. But yeah, no, I mean, this whole situation, like, I just want to get people to a point where we're not angry at each other, uh, you know, for having opinions. Uh, the only difference, like, I feel like between me and Matt at the end of the day, as far as like knowing, like, I feel like he was figuring it out a little bit sooner because usually
Mm,
when something gets announced or something comes out, the announcement comes right afterwards, like Wonder Woman 3, right after Wonder Woman, 84, regardless of
mm.
how it did. You know what I mean? So it's like you figure if they would have done that with the Snyder cut, we would have heard something right out the gate. Well,
For me, what really was what changed everything is when they had the AT&T investors call and they talked about the growth ratio max. What they talk about? Godzilla versus Kong. They didn't mention a
everything but
peep about the Snyder Cut whatsoever. That
yeah.
was just a little blip in the radar. They did not even really address it by name or nothing, and that was a major release in that quarter. Which I'm not saying that means it did poorly. I'm just saying for them it wasn't a major concern at that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I mean, and that's why it's like for me, I don't know. I'm not one to get my hopes up. So that's where I can see where Sree's coming from. Like dwelling on it is just gonna make things worse, in my opinion. So it's like the more we
Mm.
talk about it, like
And listen. I get why Charbo is considered a villain by some people. He is very aggressive with the way he says things, and he knows that,
oh,
right?
and it can rub people the wrong way, and
Yeah, no,
and I understand.
he absolutely rubs people the wrong way, sometimes intentionally. I'm not blind to that. I'm just saying that overall, the way people have vilified others in the fan. I mean, they're doing the same thing to Grace right now, vilifying her. Like, and
She
listen,
interviewed
even
Zach.
yeah, and even
Like,
some of my friends are now saying, "Oh, it was always just about the access." And here's the thing that nobody's realizing, right? Do you really think that she would jeopardize losing all of those Snyder Cut fans and subscribers and people who followed her over the last couple of years because of the Snyder Cut? Do you really think she wants to lose those people and those viewers? Really think about that. Because
yeah.
no, the answer is no. She's not trying purposely to like lose subscribers and lose people. She's telling you what she's heard. What she's heard? Could that change? Absolutely. But she's telling you what she's heard. You can believe it or not, but that's honestly what she has heard and been told,
Well, not only
right?
that, but that's what I've heard. Via leaks and other speculation stuff we've talked about before, so it's like none of this should be a surprise. Eh, right. Saggy is very, very, very true. They want to be right
Everyone
and
wants
they
to
don't want
feel
the
right.
truth.
Yeah, everyone wants to feel right, and everybody listen. You should. I'm not saying people need to admit that it's over. Hold on to hope. That's fine. That's fine. But again, just the way people are going about some of this is just It's just bizarre to me. It's just
Well, but
really bizarre.
I think one of my big sticking points is like, when's enough going to be enough? Like, when are we going to be like, okay, it's okay to put our pitchforks down and, just walk away all sullen with the,
Pretty
like,
much not until Zach himself says the words, "It's over. I've moved on." And
yeah,
even then, there will be some people who will fight that and say he's not, he's just lying, or he's just like this, that, and that. There will be some people who are like that, which you know, that says a lot. But I mean, it is what it is at that point, But
no, I get it. Like, Saggy, dude, that was my whole thing. Like, that's where I'm coming from. Like, I have like, very little hope in my life. So when I have something to look forward to, it's usually a movie or something like this. So it's very hard to handle losing hope, and trust me, I understand that feeling very, very much so. Um, I think what it is there's not a lot of nerd sport fans out there that have experienced loss in terms of like, your team just not winning that particular game, or they just always suck.
not
you
every
know
team makes it to the Super Bowl. Okay,
there are
it's
30,
some.
30, 31 other teams.
Mm,
So
you don't
yeah,
always get the perfect Super Bowl victory. Players retire, players move on. Your star player you thought was going to take you to the championship, they move on, and you got to rebuild the team again.
yep.
You know.
Okay, perfect example. I'm a 49er fan. The last 20 years has been rebuild.
Hmm.
Still a 49er fan.
Yeah, I'm a Titans fan, right? We had Marcus Mariota and all that. Now we got Ryan Tannehill, but we lost Derrick Henry and all that. So
Yeah,
who knows
man.
what's going to happen? Listen, they're doing great right now. If they don't make the Super Bowl, there's always next year. And if
It's
they don't
true.
make it next year and Ryan Tannehill retires and we have to rebuild the team, oh well, I gotta wait then.
No, I agree. That's another reason why for me just to sit back and laugh, because I just find it so funny about the hypocrisy. It's just
There's a lot
astounding.
of hypocrisy going on, and it's just frustrating. It really, really, really is. Um,
Spherical man. I said that Zach could pass away, and half those rabid fans would still come out for Rise from the Dead and Direct 2 and 3, right? Yeah, right, Gavin. Yeah, he's a Cardinals fan. He knows. He knows all about loss.
yeah,
Let's see here.
yeah.
Respect to all of those who've lost hope, and those that have lost respect for those who do have hope. Yeah, no, that's very true. Like, and that's why I said the title of this video isn't why it's dead in general. It's why it's dead to me.
And there's a big, big, big difference between that.
Huge difference.
Hmm.
No, dude, they're gonna get into necromancy. It's happening. They're gonna get the
Well,
dark hold
hey,
from
hold on,
Marvel.
hold on though. Zack Snyder directed a zombie movie. Maybe it's like all meta. Maybe he was truly
It's
a zombie himself the entire time.
maybe it's all yeah. Maybe it's all in our heads. You know, robot zombies. I hated it.
No, it's true. Like, listen, like everyone thinks that people are upset or lost respect for people still have hope. No, to me, it feels like it's been the opposite way, where people who have lost hope and people who have accepted and moved on are being vilified.
Oh,
That's the
and
problem.
it's like me. I'm not trying to make fun of you. Well, I am now because I'm a little pissed off for not you not listening. But before it was like hey, I'm reaching back to grab your hand, dude, and pull you through this crowd, this mess. But you didn't want that, so some people persisted on being delusional. Uh, so that's fine, which is cool. Let's see here. No, and I'm not gaslighting people that have lost hope. And like I said, if you take this as gaslighting, that's on you. That's all in perspective. If you get offended by something that I say, well, I mean, yeah, it's on me for saying something offensive, but it's a two-way street.
Well, here's the thing though, Brian. Saying that you don't believe that a movie franchise is going to continue because of actual logical reasons is not being offensive. And if someone finds that offensive, you really need some help and some perspective in life. I would just say that much.
Yeah. Meta. I'm sorry, buddy. I know you tried.
But it's like, I thought things would be different this year.
Not gonna happen, man.
Not gonna happen.
It's the darkness before the dawn, man. Maybe one day we'll all hold hands in the sunlight together. But yeah, no, dude. Trey Lance did really good. I was impressed, and I didn't get to watch the game, but I watched highlights. It was great.
Hey, my Titans clinched the AFC South, so I'm happy.
I think we got the wild card.
I think you did. Yeah, I think you might have.
Yeah, so we're at least in the playoffs, which is nice. You know.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry should be back soon. I think next couple weeks, maybe. Hopefully sometime soon. I don't know.
What do I mean by delusional?
You want to take that, Brian?
Operating under the same imaginary bounds that they think, and like I said, I'm no better by saying this, and it's like Max says, none of us know, but given the facts presented, I think continuing to persist on this path, yeah, it comes across as delusional, especially if you're looking at it from the outside. So, and that's something I've been trying to impress on people, is that they really, really, really need to step out of the bubble, step back and look at the situation and be like, hey bro, yeah, I don't think we're going about this the right way. But that's part of the delusion, I mean. So
yeah, well, I'm now seeing like some of the and I will call this the Snyder bro saying, I'm done following Grace friend of I'm unsubscribing. It's like, you only listened to her when she told you what you wanted to hear. Now when she doesn't tell you what you want to hear, now it's all like, oh, she sold herself out to Warner Brothers, guys. She's taking that payroll.
oh yeah, no,
Was she taking the payroll when she was officially promoting Zack Snyder's Justice League with Zack Snyder?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I mean, it's the same as people who are like, "Oh, you're a Disney shill. You're pro this. You're pro that." It's all the same damn thing.
It's all hypocritical.
And to be honest, I lost respect for me for not staying on the Zack bandwagon when they never truly had respect for me in the first place, and they can kiss my ass. No, and that's another thing. Like Saggy, everybody was your friend when you were talking pro Snyder, dude. But the second you were like, oh hell no, dude, they jumped all over you, dude. And that's the fickleness that I don't get.
Well, that's the thing. Fans are fickle fans. It's a real thing.
Oh, Saggy, have a good day at work. Go put that in. Have fun. Let's see here. I don't think it's fair to call someone delusional over what they believe. That's a pretty negative word.
Here's the thing, though. It's not being delusional over believing something's going to happen. It's being delusional when you constantly ignore roadblocks or logical facts that are presented to you.
When you're constantly dismissive of everything that's come out because it's not what you want to hear, that's a bit delusional, in my opinion. So it might be hyperbolic.
And it's fine to have hope. Just recognize when a fact is being presented to you. And also, I apologize. I cannot fix the mic. I'm on my phone.
Oh no, it's okay. I'm not too worried about it. I didn't mean to put that on there. My bad. But yeah, okay. So like I said, it's just it's all a bunch of round and round. It's exhausting. You probably won't see me on streams very much more with that as the subject matter, just because I'm done with it. Like just DC in general. I don't want to talk about the Batman until it comes out. Maybe I'll talk about the Flash when it comes out. But until then, I've got Star Trek Picard comes out within like a couple weeks. Discovery's taking a bit of a hiatus. And they're doing great right now. So I've got plenty of Star Trek stuff to talk about. And I planned on having this channel. I plan on having this channel for Star Trek. And I never talk Star Trek. So hopefully soon we can get more traction in that direction. It'll be nice. I'm just looking forward to talking about anything other than that this year. So Metaverse, if you're listening, brother, just know that if you come here, there's not going to be a place for that. Tonight, we're going to be talking about food porn. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
Not
I mean, I will say it's a shame though that like you feel like you can't participate in DC conversation anymore because it has been exhausted and it has burnt you out as bad as it has. I mean, I think there's some really exciting stuff on the horizon, but I mean, ultimately you gotta let people talk about what they want to talk about,
Yeah,
right?
I'm probably not going to talk about that one, Rhea. Sorry. I mean, I did enjoy Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad, but like, I'm
I have to watch it and I have to talk about it because I love DC and my fandom for DC is not gonna
see.
go on the
I
way.
think that's what bothers me though. It's like after a while, I was starting to feel like it was an obligation. Like I had to watch this in order to talk about it. So I'm like, no, I'm good. I there's so many other things that I would rather watch that never gets talked about on these streams. So it's like, you know what? Screw that, man. I'm gonna talk my own shit. Hey, Jane, what's up, man? We're doing good. We're doing good. Let's see here. I'm gonna be one of those old souls and going to blame social media for everything, dude. I'll blame social media for a lot of stuff, and it's like I said earlier. It's a good way for you to be an anonymous asshole. You know,
Mm,
that's Peacemaker
high
just left.
integrity 101.
Well, for persisting, borderline maybe, but honestly, dude, I like you, Integrity. So I'm not gonna like sit here and make fun of you. And that's the other thing. I'm not gonna sit there and make fun of people for liking it.
No,
I'm just talking about
nobody
like,
should make fun of anybody for having hope. And if people feel like I have, then I do apologize. It's never been the intention. I mean, I
yeah.
might laugh at stuff because some stuff is laughable. I mean, I think Brian, even you can attest to that. Some stuff is easy to make fun of and laugh at, but I don't mean it like.
Well, it is,
And
especially when like, okay, when see Integrity. This is what I'll tell you, as I've told everybody. I look at this from exactly. Reyes says it the best. Brian, master of nuance. Okay. So, what I try to do is I try to look at this from the general audience perspective. So, if I were to go out in my living room right now and ask my brother what he thought about it, I would pretty much get an answer of who cares. You know what I mean? Or I don't know. I just want to watch I thought the Joker was cool. Like normal people don't get that invested into this sort of situation. J Money, let me answer your question. The Snyderverse is dead to me because the conversation is dead. The conversation is moving nowhere. It's just a bunch of back and forth arguing and fighting over the opinion of a movie coming out or not coming out. But the problem is that the side that thinks that it's not coming out, you know, has taken the facts, or not the facts, but the evidence that has been presented, you know, without being swayed by, vague Vero posts, what the studio has said, because it's this ultimately at the end of the day, Zack Snyder has no call over whether or not he gets to make these movies. So it's not his choice. Does anybody like get that? Like, it's not his choice whether or not he wants to come back. It's whether or not the studio wants to bring him back and continue his story,
mm,
which everything that's been put out since
yeah,
2017 has said otherwise.
the power, the people who must who must act to get what the fans want are people who have clearly shown no interest. Now, could that change? Absolutely. These people could be removed from power. Other people could step in who will be interested, but we don't know. We don't know, and it doesn't exactly look great. And Cherie, I totally understand what you're saying. By the way, I will be honest. The Peacemaker trailers have not done it for me either.
No,
I have
no,
not liked
it's
those
just like
trailers whatsoever.
crotch grabbing stupid shit. Like I was like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just
Like I said, like, so if you watch those trailers, much like myself, and said, I'm not interested, that is perfectly fine. I guess from my perspective, I'm a content creator who loves DC, and I'm gonna watch it because it's rumored to have some pretty big ties to other movies I'm interested in.
yeah, Bell, what's
So
up?
I do feel a little obligated to watch it, but if other people don't want to watch it, I totally get that, and I respect that. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. That studios say a lot of things that later come out to be untrue. Believe no, and okay, and then okay, but I'm just saying, like everything that's been put in front of our faces since 2017 has been either trying to reverse course from the Snyderverse or go in a completely different direction. Everything.
I mean, listen. I mean, again, They are telling you straight to your face. I mean, even when the Snyder Cut was coming out, you had Walter Hamada in the New York Times say, "We did this for Zach. Zach, the opportunity came up, but it's a cul-de-sac, right?
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't."
a nowhere. It's a one-way street. Like,
Mm. And,
all right.
yeah, and you know, if the merger happens and some people are let go and some people are replaced, we'll see what happens. But again, it's going to be a long and arduous process. I don't think it's going to be resolved as quickly as people might think it might be, and that's okay. We'll just have to see what happens.
Well, and that's why I say it's all a mess, and I think Batman's rebooting it. Like, the Flash is going to be the funeral, and Batman's going to be the way forward. It's frustrating with no consistent continuity with the DC films. 100% agree with you. And to everybody who's like, "Oh, it's DC, there's multiverses, blah 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 blah," no, false. The general audience responds to Marvel because Marvel is consistent.
Well, they're consistent. Plus, let's be fair, they've made the movies general audiences wanted to see, and I feel like Brian, this is something I feel you really want to talk about, and I agree with you full heartedly on this. We as content creators and as people in fandom truly don't get the general audience whatsoever. We really don't. We act
No,
like we understand the general audience, but we really truly don't.
no. Like, even me that like tries to speak from that perspective, because I have conversations like this at work where I talk to other people who aren't involved in this sort of thing. Not everybody's on YouTube every night, so we do get a little bit of a unique insight as far as that goes. And then that's exactly where I'm trying to say it's not dead because I want it gone. I just, looking at what I've been presented as far as what DC's put out since Justice League, basically,
Mm,
they did a major course correct after BVS.
yeah,
It's plain as
none
day.
of us want it to die or be over. None of
No,
us want that. It's just we look
but
at what's being presented. It's just like this is just the
inst-
rational conclusion we came to.
instead of getting mad at the studio, I'm just gonna walk away, because it's like, for me, I don't care what Warner Brothers does. It's lots of film companies have fallen flat on
Well,
their
here's the
damn
thing:
face.
entertainment is supposed to make you happy and supposed to let you just enjoy and get sucked into a world for 2 hours so you forget all your problems. If that entertainment's making you upset to where it's dragging out stuff into the real world, where it actually makes you depressed or angry, you just gotta walk away and consume something else.
Yeah, like I was saying, like, I will happily go on to talk about Star Trek, Star Wars. Book of Boba Fett's been out, and not a one of us has had a stream dedicated to it.
Except for me, I did a watch party and review,
You're good, man.
and I'm doing
No,
another one tonight. Hopefully,
I'm
if my
just like,
internet comes back on.
but I'm just saying, like, our usual group of people, that's what we got into it for. Like, I became a Max fan because of Star Wars, not Snyder. I was on the panels when everything broke up, and I kind of reluctantly became a Snyder fan. So, like, I mean, and I loved it. But when people started telling me, "Hey, I haven't been in it long enough," I was just like, "Okay, maybe I haven't." All right, peace, man. Have fun with your universe, I guess. Cool.
Mm,
No, and I understand integrity. It's really hard to get it across in chat, like what you're saying and stuff like that. But you have to understand where we might be coming from. Like, if you constantly keep bringing up the Snyderverse and how it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, it's like, bro, like, okay, but everything else
yeah.
is saying otherwise. But all
I,
right,
I mean, listen.
have fun, dude.
This is getting lost on some people. There's some potentially some amazing DC content coming out this year,
Yeah.
outside of the Flash and Peacemaker. You have a brand new Batman movie that looks to be the most comic book accurate Batman movie ever put to screen. You have Black Adam finally making its way to cinemas after all this build up. You have a world class actor and movie star in The Rock playing this iconic villain. I mean, and you got Aquaman 2, a sequel to a $1 billion movie that was very imaginative and epic. I mean, there's potentially some great stuff coming out this year, and I feel like that's been lost in the conversation, sadly.
Well, okay. See, like, Andrew, I get it, man. See here, it's okay for the Snyderverse be dead. It doesn't make their plans to fix it after Flash. No, dude.
No, I
Honestly,
agree with that. I listen. I don't like what I'm hearing, but I'm not
yeah,
going to lose
no.
sleep over it.
I mean, losing your marquee, taking out two of your marquee characters, and then saying, "Hey, this is the Justice League now," that is completely stupid. It's not going to reflect well with the general audience. I've
No,
said it
it
many,
probably
many
won't.
times. Like at least Marvel, they spoon fed us the multiverse
Mm,
over 20 movies.
yeah, this
Okay.
is like pouring down the hot coffee right away as soon as you
Yeah.
get it, and it's gonna
Just
burn you down the way.
oh
But
no cream, no sugar, no accoutrement, just straight black coffee right down the gullet. It'll burn.
yeah, I mean that's just the thing at the end of the day, right? I mean, if we'll have to wait and see how it's executed. If it's good, if it's executed well and it makes fans happy, then we'll see. I mean, these sound like terrible ideas, but sometimes terrible ideas are executed.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Froze up. No, exactly. Terrible ideas can get executed very, very poorly sometimes. Let's see here. But these channels bring it up. That's the title of the video. I'm not the one bringing it up. I'm responding to the people. No. I see. I didn't say it was dead entirely. I just said it was dead to me. That was the point I was trying to make. Integrity. And you've been on my channel, bro. Every time I talk about this, I talk about how it's. I highly doubt anything is going to happen. I'm sorry, dude. What were you saying?
Oh no, sorry, my connection crapped out. Like I said,
Oh, it's
power
all good.
outages and all that. But no, I guess my point is that there's just so much amazing DC content coming out that I feel like it's been lost in conversation because it's always Snyder, Snyder, Snyder. Now, let's be fair. I will say it has been the predominant conversation to start off 2022 because we had big news about The Flash, the rumors with that movie,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and everything else. I feel like we need to and I've at least tried not to have the conversation with the fandom and whether or not it's going to happen or not. I mean, I talk about what it seems like the Flash movie's doing because it's an upcoming movie that everyone's interested in,
Yeah.
and that's the conversation I seek to have. I mean, I'm not perfect. I think there's obviously ways that we can always challenge ourselves to be better about the way we talk about stuff, but it is what it is, you know.
There's a possibility. Let's see here. Think about No Way Home gave us 3 Spider-Mans, Toby, Andrew, and Tom, and it made $1 billion. What if the Flash can compete with that? If the Flash can compete with that, then I would say a lot of people's dreams would be crushed. It's funny because I think there's a lot of people that won't say that they're rooting for the Flash to fail, but deep down they're like, I hope this movie falls on
They
its
sure do
face.
act like it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's the
okay.
mindset a
Like,
lot of people in right now, and I don't understand that. I mean, this is my
you go over.
personal opinion. You should never want anything to fail. You should want everything to be good and succeed. I mean, you should go into things hoping that they're good and you like it. I mean, I don't understand the mindset of, oh, I want this to fail or, all that. I mean, you do you at the end of the day. This is not a mindset I personally want to protect.
Yeah. No, it's like hopefully it could work. If they can compete with that, that'd be all right. Let's see here. We haven't even had a decent World's Finest or Trinity movie. The cast of Henry Gal and Ben were perfect in my opinion, and they're washing that, or they're wasting that. That is upsetting the general audience as a DC fan. Yes, I agree. It is very upsetting, and not only that, but it's really confusing to the normies. You know,
No, it absolutely is. And again, that's why the strategies can be really interesting because I feel like it's very anti-general audience. I feel like it's like they're trying to have their
well, trying to have their cake and eat it too. Yeah. Let's see here. No, I agree, J Money. They're in no place to compete with them at all. At all, at all. Let's see here. Exactly. Okay, I will say, what does the general audience know when it comes to DC? They know Superman, they know Batman, they know Wonder Woman. Okay, if you don't have those 3 in a quote unquote Justice League movie, people won't really. Yeah. Let's see here. Hang on a second. Hot coffee doesn't do anything for me, especially in Arizona. Hot coffee works for me when it's 17 degrees out. Other than that, I like iced coffee. Let's see here. The New Gods movie would have been fire. Yes, it would have. Let's see here. I'll have to check out The Flash. I'm a huge DC fan outside of Batman, so we'll see. Well, Batman will be in there, so we can always go. Integrity 101 says, I'm ready to dig in, but I don't want to derail the stream anytime somebody wants to discuss the Snyderverse is inevitable or why the other side is truly toxic. I am ready to go. Honestly, I'm not talking about the toxic. I'm not ready. I'm not talking about the toxic stuff, dude.
The toxicity things, whatever.
Like,
at this point,
that's not even a part of this conversation. It's basically where we're at and how people are handling the information that we've been given. Like I said, you're more than welcome to believe whatever the heck you want to believe. I'm not here to shit on that. Me personally, I think with all the evidence that we've gotten, DC's going in a different direction. Could it be a reboot, whatever? You know, I just don't see it going past another, you know, going another movie. Since you brought up Boba Fett, what did you? Oh, dude. Okay, so Book of Boba Fett. I love the first episode. I just need to see more. It just felt like it was. It's just like the Mandalorian. The episodes are too damn short. You know, you're like 14 minutes with like 10 minutes of 45 minutes with 10 minutes of credits, and it's like, damn you. I just wish I had more. That's all. Let's see here. So what are they trying to achieve here? They don't care about the fans. No, I think what it is that a studio's job ultimately at the end of the day is to tell a story. Okay. It's not up to us as the fans to dictate what that story is. You know, we say that about Star Wars all the time. So why is it any different when we're talking about DC?
What they're trying to do, right? And they're doing it in a very bold way. They're making some very bold, creative decisions because their hand has been kind of forced because it's just the way things have gone with. Because they don't want to recast these two actors because if they did, this is going to be controversial, but I feel like they're trying to embrace the standalone movies a bit more lately.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Because the standalone movies are not tied to the broader DCEU, and
but it's also it contrasts them to Marvel as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, because that was what it was. It was an attempt to juxtapose what Marvel was doing for all these years. Exactly. Let's see here. The Ayer cut would have been cool. I like Jared Leto Joker. I'd be all right to see more of it, but personally, I did not like Suicide Squad. I didn't like it. Just wasn't my cup of tea. Let's see here. Right, Zeno. It was a short runtime. That's the problem with all these Disney Star Wars shows. You get hooked, and then they're like credits. Damn you! But I did like the fact that Patton Oswalt was right about.
Suicide Squad sucked. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, Book of Boba Fett was on point. I'm waiting for next week. Let's see here. Only DC films I'm excited for are Black Adam and the Batman with Pattinson. I currently right now my enthusiasm level is pretty low. I'm sure once they get closer though, I'll be more than willing to,
No, the Batman trailer isn't really done it for you at all.
Well, they did. The first one, like I was excited to see it, man. But listening to a lot of the it comes back to it's part of the Snyder argument. Okay, it's just for me personally. I've been engulfed in it for a very long time, and it's just exhausting. Toward I'm like I don't want to see the next Batman movie. Why? Because I know all the other drama associated with it. So I'm just like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm totally good. Let's see here. I thought Snyder's Justice League was fantastic. Hey Cyrus, what's up? Would love to see the conclusion of it, but I'd also like to see the conclusion of He-Man from the 80s. And yep, and it is what it is. No, exactly. I would like to see the conclusion of Enterprise. They cut that show short 3.5 damn seasons, or sorry, 4.5 seasons. So it's like, no, man, forget it. We can't always get what we want. And you could try sometimes, but you find you get what you need.
I get it. It's tough.
Yeah, no, I can't wait till tomorrow. It sucks because I have to wait till I get off of work to watch it. So no midnight watch parties for that.
I've been waiting.
Uh-oh. Damn connection.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was gonna say, like, I've been waiting for a conclusion for like a lot of different shows and movies that never got sequels. Dude, I'm still campaigning for Alita Battle Angel 2, and
Right?
jack crap's happened with that, okay? And I'm fine. I can live with that, okay?
Yes, they should make the Star Wars shows just a bit longer. Just saying. Yeah, no, I can't wait for episode 2, man. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen at Mos Espa. Like, are we gonna get to see Watto? Like, is he still alive after all
No,
these years?
yeah, Watto. Watto is that Watto becomes Boba's right hand merchant or something.
Which one?
Yeah, we never got the Super Mario Bros. Sequel that was teased. That's another movie that never got a sequel.
Right. Let's see here. Yes, Flash has a great chance against Black Panther 2. I think it does because they didn't recast T'Challa. Yeah,
I
no,
don't, I don't,
100%.
I don't know, man. Did you see some of those Fandango polls for most anticipated movies? Black Panther 2 was number one. It beat out every other movie, and they polled like thousands of people. I don't know. I feel like we're underestimating the hype for that movie. I think there's a huge curiosity factor with that because they didn't recast, and everyone wants to know what they do to advance the story.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, that goes back into the whole thing, though. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell you Black Panther 2 is the most anticipated movie by general audiences. We don't know crap about the general audience, man. We really don't.
No, we don't. And it kind of sucks when we underestimate what they do. Let's see here. All I'm saying is Skeletor popped his head out of the water and said, "I'll be back." And I'm holding my right. Oh, dude, 100%, 100%. They never finished that. Oh, and they also own Superman too. Canon Films.
They did for a little bit, yeah. They
Yeah,
negotiate. Well, actually, I'm trying to remember, but I think that He-Man kind of screwed over Superman
Superman
4
4.
because they
Yep.
spent all their money on He-Man because they knew that was their bigger movie, which is but
Yeah, Vince. It's midnight tonight Pacific. Let's see here. Bosk and Boba are brothers from other lizard mothers. Dude, I would love to see Bosk come back. Dude, there's so much possibilities and potential with this show. And I think this is gonna sound really weird, might be a hot take. You know how we've been getting like cameos and stuff like that, like how Luke showed up in the last one?
yeah.
CG Leia.
It's funny you said CG Leia. I think that this possibility could be
I figured Han Solo, but
CG Han Solo. Yeah.
I'm
Here's the
telling
thing, though.
you,
If they bring Han into Book of Boba Fett, it needs to be Alden Ehrenreich. Please don't do a CGI Harrison Ford.
yes, I agree. That would be really good because it would add legitimacy to that movie.
Because
Honestly,
you can't. I'm sorry, but you cannot continue the story of Luke, Han, and Leia with CGI characters. You need to do it with actual actors. I'm sorry.
okay, here we go. I just want you to know what the story they're trying to say. The job of the studio is to sell a story, and the way to sell a story, be it to fans of the general audience, is to tell them with popular characters. No, then that I agree. Like you can't go forward without your big players. Like you can't trade Superman to the Washington Generals. Okay.
Right. Well, it's like trying to win the NBA championship with without any All Stars. You know.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
gotta
listen, your
have at
B and
least
C
one
level
or
players can
two.
play good, but it's like compared against the All Stars lineup, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, that's why the Kings lost in 2002. Shame. We only had one All Star. C Webb.
Yeah.
Chris Webber. He was good. All right. See, all I'll say is this: one, the Snyder movement needs to exist. Two, it's a direct result of incompetent leadership. Three, the Snyder fan base as a whole needs to learn to share the characters with other directors and fans. Yes, I will agree. My argument this whole time is as long as the characters are still cast, it's still the DCEU. It's not the Snyderverse. It's the DCEU.
Mm.
Okay,
I would
I
also
find
say,
that
yeah.
very, very selfish to say it that way because there's more to it than that.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna knock the movement as a whole,
No,
what
it's
it's
not.
accomplished, but I also think that a lot of the fan base too on both sides needs to recognize, um, defaults in the system, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we never got the Super Mario Brothers sequel with John Leguizamo.
Hmm They tease her at the end. It's like there's another adventure waiting. Come on. It's like, oh, okay.
Alita 2. See? Yeah.
Yeah,
You got people on board, man. There you go, man.
yeah, I've been waiting.
Yeah, no, Kenobi's going to be a good show too. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. I think what's really kind of sickening. Star Wars is doing good. Are we talking about it? No. We're only talking
No,
about
because
things that are bad.
well, here's the thing, right? We only talk about Star Wars when it's a negative
Hey, Jeff.
story, and when
Yep.
Star Wars is doing good, what does everybody focus on? Negative DC news.
Yeah.
Or no, it's really funny too, Brian. Well, no, it's really funny. All of 2021, it was all about MCU bad. Spider-Man comes out, then it goes, great movie. It proves that the rest of the year slate was horrible. And now what's 2022? DCEU,
Yeah. Yeah.
DCEU, DCEU failing. It's like,
It
okay.
sounds just like I'm watching a Nerdrotic video.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I'm still listening on the TV, but you got to get off the chat. Oh, yeah, that's right. Have a great one. Later, man. Have a good one. Let's see here. Yeah, Gavin. That's right. Let's see here. Snyderverse movement needs to push now. It's 22, 23 or never.
I say it's this year or never. I would say
Yeah.
that much. It's 2022 or never at this point.
I mean, if they're gonna do anything, it's gonna be related to the merger. Like I said, hopefully we get a conclusion, man. How could you not watch the Snyder Cut and be like,
well, here's the possibility. What if they announce it's continuing, but as an animated movie or comic book?
I'd be all right if they brought back everybody to voice everything.
I'd be fine with that too. Certain people would be upset.
That includes Ray Fisher.
Yeah.
So I would be okay with that. Because, dude, one thing DC does, and better than Marvel, in my opinion, is their animated movies are phenomenal. Like,
most of them, I mean, they've had some hits and misses more recently, but overall, I mean, they're
recently. But what? Anything between was it Flashpoint and Apocalypse War was damn good in my opinion. So I loved all those animated movies. That was a universe. Like if they'd have pulled from that, it would have been a little bit better, more consistent. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I did enjoy Batman Long Halloween. I did think the Superman one was okay. I mean, there's been a couple new ones that were okay.
See, I love a decent He-Man movie. A new one? Oh man, that'd be amazing. Let's see here. Alden would be nice. Yeah, no. Oh, dude, Kira. That's the other thing. We got left hanging with this Crimson Dawn stuff, and we come on, man. Let's get some Crimson Dawn, man.
I'm telling you, they're coming back in a big way in Boba Fett. I'm telling you, episode 2, I think we have a big reveal.
Do you think we're gonna get Kira then?
Absolutely, 100%. I think we're getting Kira, and I think we're getting Alden back as Han Solo.
Wow, Alden was playing young Han.
It don't matter. Just put some makeup on both of them.
He's still young though. That's the thing. Like, I just don't want to see CG Harrison Ford face.
Yeah, I don't either. It's gonna look. Yeah,
it's kind of off-putting for me. Like, see, when at the end of the Mandalorian season 2, don't sound weird, but like I wanted Ezra to show up.
I understand that, but I feel like they're saving that for the Ahsoka show. Though.
Well, I got you, man. But wouldn't it just make so much sense, especially with the narrative, because everybody in that room, well, with the exception to Din Djarin, knew Ezra. Like,
yeah,
the Mandalorians knew him. Everybody else knew Ezra.
Yeah, that's why they picked Luke, though. That's why Boba Fett didn't
recognizable.
Because like Boba would be like, Luke Skywalker, what?
True. Dude, yes. Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, Doug Christie, Paige Stojakovic, and Vlade Divac. That was the starting 5 for the 2002 Sacramento Kings.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Bobby Jackson won the sixth man that year. He come off the bench covering for Bibby, and no. I know my basketball. Or at least the Kings, anyways. Let's see here. It's not like fans never persuaded the studio to make a film before. Firefly fans helped convince the studio to make Serenity. Yeah, no, that's true. No, and that's the thing.
That's kind of a bad comparison though, because Serenity bombed
Well,
at the box office.
but
And
see, and here's the thing. They already got what they wanted.
yeah, they caught the Snyder cut.
Now they're asking more. So it's if you give a mouse a cookie, they're going to want a glass of milk.
Again, and I cannot understate how significant it was getting the Snyder cut. That's something that nobody thought would ever even happen. I mean, that is something that's truly
that
a
was a big
worthwhile
mountain to
accomplishment.
climb.
They invested $70 million for more VFX and additional photography. That is crazy, dude.
You know, I think it has a potential, DL. For the.
I need to see a trailer, but I am a little worried.
I mean, I could, dude. I like Chris Pratt, so I'm willing to give it the good shot.
It's not the voice. I mean, the voice cast is one thing. I think Illumination just makes kind of mediocre animated movies. Like they're like really dumbed down movies for kids. Like Pixar, they make movies for families and everybody. I feel like Illumination is strictly for kids.
100%, Jeff. I was so disappointed. I was like, the episode was over this week, and I was like, February 10th. February 10th. Mother, dude, season 4 of Star Trek Discovery is absolutely great. Like, and the funny thing about Discovery is everybody crapped on the first 2 seasons, but like that's the rule with Star Trek. You gotta get past the first 2 seasons because it takes a while for
even Next Generation didn't get strides really until season 3.
Season 3 into 4, it didn't hit its stride. Same thing with Deep Space Nine, in my opinion, and I love that show. The first 2 seasons, like where it was focused on Bajor and stuff, not so much.
By the way, when does Strange New World start?
Damn it! I want to say it's March or something like that. It's sometime soon. Like
okay,
it's going to be rapid fire.
So Discovery, so Picard first, then Discovery, then Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, but we also have Prodigy. Prodigy is it's the Nickelodeon show, CG animated. They brought back Kate Mulgrew to reprise her role as Janeway. It's not bad. She's like cool. It's the ships in the Delta Quadrant. So I don't know. They went on a hiatus too, and they're coming back on the 6th. So that should be pretty interesting to see where that goes, because it was like not necessarily for me because it's kind of a kids show, but I could dig it. It's not bad. Let's see here. Star Wars focused. Oh yeah, no, I got you. Xeno.
Well, of course they are. But I think Brian's more so talking about our community of nerds.
I'm talking about how I was talking about Star Wars and started talking about nothing but Snyder shit for a year and a half. That's what I'm talking about. Oh no, that's the other problem. Is that one problem is we never define Snyderverse. So 90% of the conversations, exactly what does it restore the Snyderverse mean? Does it mean it's not restored unless Zach is back in charge and we're getting the rest of those 2 stories that he was going to do? Or is it carried on in spirit by the actors and the storyline? That's how it should be. But, either way. No, it's just, I feel like there's always going to be I would be, Bell, 100%. Give me a Nightmare series. Like, now. Tap me in. I don't need I dig it. But others want more. And that's the thing. It's like we got to kind of temper our expectations.
Well, that's the thing, too. It's so inconsistent because it seems like everybody wants something different. Nobody can really agree upon what they actually want.
Well, yeah, and then that leads to infighting. It's like, well, it's like religion, okay? It's like, some people think that the Sabbath is on Saturday. Some people say the Lord's Day of Rest is on Sunday. So it's like, that started wars, guys. Like, come on.
Wait, are you comparing the Snyder fandom to a religious cult?
I didn't say cult. I just said
I'm messing.
I was just comparing it to a religion.
Religion,
Well, wars have been fought over the centuries. We could apply it to Europe post World War One.
Right.
I have a book about the Weimar Republic and what happened. Very interesting, guys.
Oh, the
Very.
Weimar Republic in Germany?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually took a German history class, actually. That is a very fascinating story about
Oh
German
yeah.
history.
Yeah. No.
Absolutely.
100%. It's a 45-hour audiobook, and I love every minute of it.
Nice, dude.
I
Nice.
find I find that history fascinating, especially European history. Like post revolution, like the French Revolution, because that's when things really started changing. You went from having monarchs of divine providence to people like you and me being in charge of things. So it's a whole different actually you could go back to the American Revolution, because the American Revolution and the French Revolution kind of happened in tandem. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, it's so fascinating how things have gone with that. It
Mhm.
really, really is.
Well, and then not only that, but every once in a while you can see parallels too, uh, with what happened then and happens now. Did you see? I never watched Batman Ninja. I was like, what is this? Like, come on.
Oh, Batman Ninja. God, I forgot about that show, to be honest with you, man. I forgot that show even existed.
Let's see here. I haven't seen
Or that
JSA
movie, I
yet.
mean.
That's on HBO Max, right? Geeks.
If he's talking about the new anime movie that just came out, I believe so, yeah.
Let's see. I could get here. We go. Integrity. Let me ask you both this. You guys take over at WB tomorrow. What are you going to take over? Um. Well, I'm going to find the person who made the Matrix 4 and tell them they're no longer employed here.
You weren't a fan of it?
Well, I still haven't watched it yet, and I'm not going to watch it. I think the fact that they made that movie in the first place is just a crime. But no, honestly, I'd probably clean house and give a consistent universe that could keep up on par with what Marvel has to offer, because at this rate, it is a competition. Um, one way or the other, they're going to get compared. So I would try my best to make something as comparable as humanly possible. Um, but again, I mean, I feel like a lot of people, the genre itself might not have much longer, So I'm one of those people that thinks it's on. What's up, Niner for life? Playoffs, baby. Yeah. Mm. All right. Let's see here. Dude, I am doing good. Will Lewis? Damn good. Damn good, man. Um, I had a bit of a fun day, so I'm just gonna kind of getting a little bit of stuff off the chest, the old chest, as it were. Let's see here. RJ is back.
Yeah, sorry. It's just a good old connection. But no, I'm glad you did the stream, Brian. I really am glad you did that. It's nice to vent some frustrations out and just get your thoughts out there, especially
Well,
when
and
like sometimes it's better to actually talk things out than just like go into a group chat, and just like or Twitter, and just spat some things off.
oh yeah, absolutely. Well, no, that's true. The fans won, but they didn't,
They
and
didn't
that's
actually
the
show
same
up
case
when
with
they
the Snyder
won.
Cut. They won, but they didn't watch it in theaters.
Nope, they didn't.
So it is what it is, man.
You
Let's
gotta
see
vote your
here.
wallet sometimes.
What?
Don't even get me started on the Fantastic Beast movies, dude. I'm gonna go off on
Yeah,
those.
that's very convoluted. One thing I will say that I did watch that made me tear up a little bit, because I totally love it. The 20 years
Oh, you actually
reunion
watched that?
to Hogwarts.
Yes, I watched that on New Year's
Uh,
Day.
Amazing.
Dude, the opening scene where they filmed it like it was a movie.
Yes, loved it. Loved it.
That's one of
I
the best like documentary specials I've ever watched. To be honest with
well,
you.
well, it was great because those movies, like I'm sure, like your generation more so than mine,
Mm.
uh, that's your guys's like Lord of the Rings kind of thing.
Yeah, it's our Star Wars in a lot of ways too.
It's your Star Wars, so it's like just to hear like Rupert Grint was the one that got me the most, I think.
Oh yeah.
Just because like how he handled the approach to the character, and then how
Mm.
he handled it
Well,
afterwards.
Robbie Coltrane too, when he talked about saying, my children's generation is gonna grow up with these movies, and 50 years from now, I
Yeah,
may not be here anymore, but Hagrid will be.
yeah.
which is
No,
like
and
that's powerful, you know.
well, yeah, and not only that, but when they went through all the people that have passed away,
Mm.
in
And they
the
talk about that saying there's some people they thought were still going to be here for this moment that aren't, you know. And it's kind of shocking to all of them, you know, especially Alan Rickman, you know.
well, and then hear from Gary Oldman, who's like, yeah, he was a great friend of mine, like. But they'd cut camera and they'd just be bullshitting, you know. That's Sirius Black and Severus Snape getting along, you know. It's like that, and then Ray Fiennes coming in. Like when they announced that back in the day, I got so excited. Like I
See,
posted it on my MySpace. I was like, yeah,
yeah, see, for me, because I basically was born like elementary school. I started reading Harry Potter, right, like late fourth grade. So for me, I grew up with the first three movies on DVD and VHS, and I think the first one I saw in theaters was Goblet of Fire, uh, and that's when the series started getting dark, you know. So,
yeah.
and I've watched all of them since then. You know, they are truly phenomenal movies.
Yeah, the first book I read was Goblet of Fire, and I read the
Mm.
book before I watched the movie, which was a mistake.
Oh yeah, dude, I read Order of the Phoenix before the movie. Order of the Phoenix is the longest book at like 900 pages. The movie's like a super abridged version of that. Like it barely covers anything in the book, which it's fine. I think it could have been better though.
My
But
least two favorite movies out of the series are 5 and 6.
yeah, Half Blood Prince they cut out a lot of stuff too. Sadly,
Because number 6 is one of my favorite books,
oh,
and
it's a really good book. Sadly, it's really
they
underrated.
they
Actually,
shredded it.
mm.
They shredded it. No, dude, I 100% Kyle Katarn.
They should
Yes,
bring Kyle Katarn into canon. Absolutely.
especially now.
You know
Like,
what I
oh,
think? You know what's really funny too? I think one of the biggest things that HBO Max is going to do once the merger happens, they are going to buy these streaming rights from Universal, and I guarantee you this: they are going to do a remake series of Harry Potter on HBO Max that's more faithful to the books. I guarantee
thank
you.
you.
I
Thank you.
guarantee you they're going to do that.
It needs to happen.
Or they're going to do their biggest priority is going to make a Harry Potter sequel movie with the original cast. Guarantee you. I guarantee you that's something they're thinking about right now.
Heck yeah, geeks, dude. Lower Decks is amazing. Okay, it's Star Trek that doesn't take care. It makes fun of itself and it doesn't take itself too seriously. Love it. No, it's okay, dude. Don't worry about it. Let's see here. How's morale's gone? No, that's about where I'm at too, brother. Let's see here. I haven't enjoyed Star Trek season 4. Hopefully Strange New Worlds is great. Hopefully, and I hope season 2 of Picard's knocks it up the park, dude. Let's see here. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, season 2 of Picard's the one that has Q in it, right? They brought back Q.
Yes. Oh
Okay.
man, I can't wait. And all of that, but they brought back Guinan. So I'm kind of hoping.
Oh wait, they brought back Whoopi Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Patrick
Okay.
Stewart went on The View and was like, "You know, you're coming back, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Dude, the story about say what you want about Whoopi Goldberg now, but like the reason why she got on Star Trek in the first place is so such
What was the story
a
behind
great
that?
story." Well, I idolized Nichelle Nichols.
Oh, okay.
And she loved the fact that Star Trek was a show that, you know, didn't in the 60s wasn't like it showed races working together,
Well,
you know.
dude, Martin Luther King himself contacted Nichelle Nichols and said, "You cannot leave this show."
Yeah, don't leave the show. You don't know what you mean to little girls like Whoopi Goldberg.
But Brian, Star Trek's woke now.
Star Trek has always been woke. If you got a problem with that, you can go to space and get Gene Roddenberry and ask him.
Yeah, go ask Gene Roddenberry, Barry Space Ghost, what he thinks about that.
Yeah, he's floating around in space with his good friend Scotty, played by Jimmy Doohan. Let's see here. Josh from Den of Nerds and Star Wars Theory. Get my Star Wars news podcast. They're cool dudes. I
like both those guys.
I stopped watching Josh from Den of Nerds after the Gray Order stuff because he was the one that announced it, and then he backed out and then started talking shit about Max. So I was like, no, I'm good.
Wait, what?
Loyalty, guys. Loyalty.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, was the Gray? Wait, I don't even. You have to tell me the history of all that one of these days because I don't know anything about the Gray Order.
I need to go back and do the research from at least my perspective.
I didn't know Max was involved in the Gray Order.
Oh yeah, he was like, it was Max and Lunga, and it was more so Max than Lunga when it split off. Because Max was like pro Gray Order, and he was trying to get it done, but like Josh was like, and I know Matt had something to do with it too. So like, it was just a bunch of, bad stuff. But
Bunch
that's
of
why I
nerds
stopped listening.
fighting.
Yeah, that's why I stopped listening to Josh. But no, dude, Star Wars Theory is where it's at. I like Star Wars Explained. They're good as well. The Stupendous Wave is also good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snyder unfortunately is a hot topic, and you're not lying. He's hot. Yeah, I'd smash. I'm just kidding. Need more Bay Transformers. I need more Bay Ninja Turtles. Okay, I watched Turtles Out of Time with the Green Arrow playing Casey.
Or Out of the Shadows.
Yeah, Casey Jones. Yeah, Out of Time is the video game, isn't it?
Oh, Bebop and Rocksteady, right?
Yeah. It had
Seamus played. Yeah, Seamus is in there.
Yeah, dude. I think he was Bebop.
No, I think it's Rocksteady.
Rocksteady. Yeah. But no, it was good. Krang was good in that movie. Like, and I mean, I know she's not the most accurate April O'Neil, but I like Megan Fox's April O'Neil as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have cast her in that personally, but it's whatever.
It'd be all right. I wouldn't mind seeing Wayne T. Carr in a Green Lantern series. Let's see here. If he comes back, if they hold him back. Yeah, no, dude, that's the whole thing. Like, even if Zach comes back, he's gonna have handcuffs. And do you want to see Zach with
Dude,
handcuffs?
he's making the movies he's always wanted to make over Netflix. They're letting him do whatever he wants.
Dude,
that's a director's dream.
Rebel Moon is gonna be my shit when it comes out. Trust me. Like, I know it in my heart. No, they should at least finish it in one way, shape, or form. Whether it be a freaking comic book or whatever, man. That story needs to be told. No, and that's the other thing. Snyder wouldn't come back unless he had full control, and they're not going to give him full control. So that's where we're at the impasse. Where
not in the current form that we're in. No.
Well, and I also understand that. Like, it's just but I think this is where I would have had an issue. Okay, so that would mean that the DC universe would consist of what, 5 movies, and then people would start bitching about it because I don't know. It's just the hindsight is just so messed up on this whole situation. Let's see here. No, exactly, and that's why, Bell. That's why I would want to see a Nightmare series, because that's just unchanged Zack Snyder right there, 100%.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Brian, I do need to go make some dinner, man. But,
yeah, I'm about ready to wrap this up. I'm gonna rapid fire through some of these comments here. If you want to take off, go right ahead. I'm gonna wrap her up. And
well, thank you. Brian,
I gotta be back on in like 2.5 hours. So. For my food stream.
Well, thank you for having me on, Brian. It's been a lot of fun, great conversation, man. And hopefully I'll be able to tune for one of those Master and Nom streams. What are you talking about today, by the way? I saw it's episode 9, right?
Okay, so I was going for this like Star Wars thing where I would take like episode 1, the Phantom Dish, or the Phantom Dish. Okay, or attack of the something, or each one of them was
themed on like a Star Wars movie title.
Okay, so this one is the rise of food porn, and I call it that because South Park did. Oh shoot, we got Crazy Joe. Hey man,
hey, what's up, Joe?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too much. I was just getting ready to wrap around.
How you feeling, Joe? You good?
It's been a rough day for me. I'm just bummed out about fandom in general, because it's like everyone's just angry all the time. Yeah. And it's I don't know. Like I said earlier, we had a private chat going. I'm so over the moon excited about The Flash. It is the most anticipated film of the year for me. I love the director. I love the screenwriter who gave us Bumblebee and Birds of Prey. I think she's super talented. And I'm just so excited. And all it took was one tweet from a really unreliable person, and suddenly everyone's just crapping all over this movie. And it's like, and I hear narratives like, well, this movie is just a Batman movie. Well, you don't know that. Nobody's seen the movie. You can't say what it is. Well, it's being sold as a Batman movie. It's not being sold at all. They haven't even put together a trailer yet.
Yeah, they showed us some behind the scenes footage.
That's what I was going to say. That, like, Joe, I admire your optimism and everything, and you're not wrong on that front. The movie hasn't officially begun its marketing campaign. On the surface, it is just one tweet from Grace Randolph. I mean, there's some other people who have chimed in on this too. But I understand what you're saying, where it feels like people are kind of like overreacting a little bit. But to be honest, like, this animosity has been built up for so long. I feel like the Flash is the victim of its own goals, if that makes sense. Where it's just kind of like, this was just the movie that became the target because of what it is, you know.
And it was always going to be that way, unfortunately, because a lot of the behind the scenes stuff with Ray Fisher and stuff that, you know, a lot of us that were talking about it over the last year or so were really hip to the fact that, you know, Cyborg was supposed to be a part of the movie, and that, you know, he got written out because of his stance towards, you know, Jeff Johns and stuff.
But you see, I got to blame that on Ray Fisher.
Oh, no, I totally understand that.
Because Ray Fisher came out and said, I won't work with Walter Hamada. So, well, Walter Hamada's the producer of the movie. What are you going to do? If you won't work with the producer, you're not going to be in the movie.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying, like, that's where I could see some of the anger from the Snyder side of things, you know, getting involved. That's the biggest problem. It's the fans that have made it a part of their identity. And there's no, and Grace even talked about it. That's what I cheered about for Grace. It's like they turned on her. She interviewed.
No, they 100% did.
She interviewed Zack Snyder before the movie came out.
She was part of the Snyder Cuts promotional campaign, if you think about it.
So it's like, just the fact that, you know, they're turning on her for even suggesting something that we've kind of known from the beginning. It's just, it's terrible. No, and I see where you're coming from, Joe. Like, you're one of the few people that is a DC fan that's not affected by the Snyder stuff. And if anything, you're more of a pure DC fan, like that wants fantastic stuff in his comic books, which, dude, that's awesome, man. Like, 100%. Like, that's one of the reasons why I'm not too looking forward to the Batman. We just have to have another gritty, realistic Batman. Like,
and that's the thing. I'm fine with the Batman too, because it's like,
I disagree with both of you guys on that, because, like, I'm excited for it. I feel like it's the most comic book accurate version we've gotten in a minute that reflects the modern comic books. But if you guys aren't looking forward to it, that's okay. That's okay. There's other stuff coming out this year too. There's some great DC stuff on the horizon, if you think about it.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm not hyped for Batman, but I am hyped for Michael Keaton coming back. So it's like, I'm getting a Batman this year. You know, the Pattinson Batman isn't for me. If people like that, great. That's awesome. But you know what? We're all getting a Batman this year. Ben Affleck's coming back this year too. You know, there's a Batman for everyone this year. Bats all around.
Right? No, see, the thing is, okay, integrity. One thing I will take us. Let's jump in a time machine for a second here. I said they don't exist, but this is the time machine of the imagination. BVS, when it came out, did everybody like it?
But I love, by the way, look, I'm not a Snyder fan. I love Batman v Superman. If you go back on my channel and find my top films of 2016, Batman v Superman was my number one favorite movie that year. I've always liked that movie. I didn't like Man of Steel at all. I didn't like his Justice League, but I loved BVS. And you know what? I know from experience, I defended that movie tooth and nail because everyone came at me with how much they hated it. So I know for a fact people hated that movie because I was arguing with them about it.
Yeah. No, and it
was extremely divisive. I remember watching the theatrical cut in theaters with my father, and we both hated that movie.
People still argue about it today.
Yeah, it wasn't until the Ultimate Edition came out that I was like, okay, this movie's all right. I still don't love it. I respect it for what it is, but, like, I remember people hated that movie when it came out. A lot of people did.
The thing I always remind people of, too, is that I always hear people say, well, Justice League failed. And it's like, yeah, but the thing you got to remember is Justice League didn't open and then word of mouth got out and people said, oh, this is a terrible movie. it didn't even open. It had a piss poor opening weekend, which
it kind of
means
came and went. It was like,
yeah, nobody went to see it opening weekend, and that is because of Batman v Superman. It was people hated that movie so much that they were like, I'm not going to the next one. Yes. So I always say Batman v Superman is really the film that killed Justice League, because whether you liked the Joss Whedon version or not, it's irrelevant. People didn't see it. They didn't show up at the theater.
No, that's when they started doing their course correct publicly.
Yeah.
Like, then that's where I'm just like, guys, the whole Snyder thing, they were done with this in 2016.
Absolutely.
They were panicking and trying to figure out a way that
and this is almost an industry. I believe this is pretty much confirmed. They were thinking about and were heavily considering just getting rid of Zack Snyder off the Justice League project, but they were going to film it so quickly they literally couldn't. They just couldn't. They were micromanaging him on the set.
He was already on set before Batman v Superman ever opened, so it's not like he was fireable at that point. It's like, well, geez, he's already there.
Yeah. No, it's true. But no, like I said, it's a little bit of revisionist history, though. You guys have to remember how those movies were received at the time and why we're probably not going to get more, because they were just that poorly received. Like, it was in vogue to sit there and shit on the BVS. Like,
yeah, and that's what we were, because Joe, we were talking about this earlier, me and Brian. It's like, we as people in fandom, we exist in a bubble a little bit, and we don't understand. None of us, I don't think, truly grasp what the general audience feels about stuff ever. Mm-hmm. Like, we think we understand the general audience, but we really don't. You know?
Right.
No, that's just disappointing, dude. Like, 5 films. That's a 5-film arc. I mean, come on. Okay. Not when I can have 27. Like, I'm sorry, dude. There's something to be said about just consistency and a nice long form story. Like, perfect example.
It's about longevity. There's some longevity. The other thing too.
Well, okay. So, what are the 3 best seasons of Star Trek that ran in a row? Star Trek Deep Space Nine, season 4. 5, 6, and 7. What happened in that show?
I'd agree with that.
The Dominion War. Okay. People love a long form story, one that leaves you hanging, one that gives you some conclusion. Why do you think people love Game of Thrones so much? Like,
it's one long story.
This whole standalone nonsense, it's something you did in the 90s.
Yeah, but you need those standalones as your foundation.
Like, well, no, I get it. But they have to have connectivity, though. The problem is these standalones have no connectivity. As a matter of fact, they do the opposite. They try to disassociate themselves. Like, look at Aquaman. Aquaman had no references to the movies that took place before it.
They referenced Steppenwolf.
They had the one reference. That is true. They did have the one reference to Steppenwolf, but that was it. Otherwise, you could have back to like it was truly standalone.
And the Batarang in Shazam. And don't get me wrong, I love Shazam, but it doesn't necessarily feel as connected as, say, like Iron Man does, because, you know, the connectivity. Or the first Thor movie. You know, those movies can stand alone, but they're part of the greater narrative.
But you know, that talking about Shazam, that does bring up questions too about what do you call it? Henry Cavill, because they tried to get him to do a cameo there, and they couldn't reach an agreement. So the question is,
to do it.
It's like,
well, that also burned Warner Brothers a little bit, because they were upset that Cavill didn't want to play ball. But
dude, the mustache burned him, guys.
Well, the mustache too. The mustache of Mission Impossible, that was pretty bad too. I mean, they ruined his face in that movie. I'm sorry.
That was PR. You know, like.
Well, the thing is too, he didn't want to do Shazam because he had one more movie left on his contract, and he was nervous and wanted them to renegotiate a full contract extension so he can come back for more movies. So they reached an impasse and never really got anything off the ground.
Yeah, no, exactly. Let's see here. Oh, I could see that, Finn being a Kyle Katarn type character. Let's see here. Oh yeah, dude, we need to talk some Lower Decks. Love that show. 100%.
It's a great show.
Oh, dude, I love the episodes with Riker and the Titan. Yeah, dude. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do have to actually go because I got to make some dinner. But Joe, Brian, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Great conversation as always.
Absolutely,
And I'll catch you
man.
on
Take
later.
it easy.
Peace.
Yeah. No, speaking of which, check it out.
Those guys had a long road getting from there to here. Give me warp in the factor of 5, 6, 7, 8.
I love it because the Enterprise quote, they did a long road getting from there to here. I was like, oh, you did it. Oh, man. Love this show.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna try to rapid fire through as much as I can because I gotta get off here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, no. Hey, Ambassador. Yeah, the Gray Order was pretty bad, guys. It was bad. It had good intentions.
What was the Gray Order?
Oh, it was this like ill-fated Star Wars movement to kind of counter the menace. Like we could be critical but not dicks. That's like the whole thing they were trying to accomplish, which I understood. It's like we could be critical of Star Wars but be nice about it.
By the way, I got retweeted by the least popular member of the Fandom Menace today. So.
Oh, I saw that, Mr. Kimmel. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, said some things that got under his skin about what a trash bag he is.
Right. Attack of Cannoli. Oh, here we go. No, I was talking about how with my food streams, they're somewhat Star Wars themed. Like tonight is episode 9, the rise of food porn. It's food TV shows, guys. Like anything on the Food Network, basically. I've been finding myself lately just giving all this stuff to try to run away. So in running away, I noticed on YouTube they have a bunch of old PBS cooking shows, like Jacques Pepin and Martin Yan. I used to love Yan Can Cook. That was one of my favorite shows. They have like Julia Childs on there, some classic cooking shows, and then a lot of the newer ones. So that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. There's a couple on YouTube that are some of my favorites too. I love Cowboy Cooking with Kent Rollins.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on. No,
Go ahead.
No, go on about the Cowboy Cooking.
Oh, he does chuck wagon. So he'll be out in the range somewhere with a Dutch oven and a fire, and that's how he cooks. It's so amazing.
Do you know the cooking show that never happened that I really wish had happened? Years ago. I mean, we're going back well over a decade. Christopher Walken pitched a cooking show to Food Network, and Food Network turned him down. He wanted to do a live cooking show where he would cook, Christopher Walken, but with a live phone line so that viewers could call him for advice on their love life while he was cooking.
Hey, I could see that.
That would have been the greatest show ever. And they apparently Food Network asked him, well, can you cook? And he said, no, but that's my, that'll be my hook. I can't cook. You can't cook. We'll cook together.
Right. No, that's what I always enjoyed about that stuff. And the one thing about the food that I've enjoyed talking about is just, it's something I am passionate about more so than this. And it's one thing that like doesn't get people hot under the collar that much. I mean, yes, you can get into a spirited debate whether or not pineapple belongs on a pizza, but
that's another one of those things that I'm always like, who cares? If you like it, order it. If you don't like it, don't order it. What's the big deal?
Well, see, it's called being an adult. We're dealing with people on the internet, and the internet is basically, 100%. Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives is great. I like to try to go to those restaurants that he goes to. Yes, peanut butter from a jar. That's what's up. Let's see here. Yeah, you do. You do. All right. Let's see here. Welcome back, MSK. Hey, brother. Just here's the hug. Okay, bring it in. We were talking about hugs.
I hope one of my favorite things every year at Dragon Con is my friends and I do free awkward hugs.
Nice.
And we couldn't do it this year because of COVID.
Damn.
So I'm really hoping that we're in a place next September where we can bring back the awkward hugs. I mean, man, you wouldn't believe we set ourselves. I don't know if you have ever been to Dragon Con?
No, I've only been to one convention.
The Marriott on a Saturday night is like the place to be. Like it is just kicking. And we stand at the lower level at the bottom of the escalator in the Marriott, high traffic area, and just hold the sign up to everyone getting off the escalator. And you wouldn't believe the people who come in for an awkward hug. Like we had George Perez 2 years ago. George Perez was walking by, saw the sign, and George Perez was like, "I'm in."
Bring it in. Let's do it. Oh, that's awesome. All right. So we'll round third, head for home here. Basically, at the end of the day, why the Snyderverse is dead to me is because it is. I'm tired of talking about it. Hopefully, this will be one of my last exchanges as far as it's concerned. I'm looking forward to some DC, but it's a tempered expectation, which is fine. I'm more looking forward to what Star Trek has to offer here in a little bit. Kind of bummed I have to wait till February to find out what Discovery is going to happen next, but that's okay. I'll live. Brings back memories of those season breaks back in the day, where you'd have the good old two-parter. Last time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Do you know what I desperately want? I want Paramount Plus to put on a Star Trek randomizer button where you can just click this button and it will pick from all 10 shows a random episode. So, because sometimes when I sit down to watch Star Trek, it's, well, which series do I want to see? Which episode do I want? And it's like,
not the only one.
It's too much decision making. It's like, that would just be great if I could just click a button and it's like, there's 10 series, we're throwing them all. You get Spock's brain.
Right?
You get Data's day.
Yeah, just something like that. That way you can actually experience some of the more standalone classic episodes, man. I know they did it with or they picked on Disney Plus, they did it with Clone Wars, where they took some of the bigger arcs and better stories and just put them separate from the whole show, so you don't have to sit there and hunt and peck to find the good ones.
Yeah, because if left to our own devices, I don't know about you, but I watch the same episodes. Or like, I mean, I'll be like, well, I like Yesterday's Enterprise, so I'm gonna watch Yesterday's Enterprise again. But it's like, what about the episodes you never tune into? Like,
that's very true.
It'd be fun, right? I think so.
Yeah. No, it's one of the last ones I watched. The last episode I watched was the Deep Space Nine, Past Tense, Part 1 and 2.
Oh, good one.
Well, it has a lot to do with what's going on now with like COVID and stuff like that, where it's like they're segmenting off certain aspects of the population and separating them from vaccinated society or whatever. But like, I saw so many parallels with that. I was like, ooh, not good.
Yeah, and it has one of my favorite character actors of all time in it. Dick Miller. I love Dick Miller.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. I like the Gas Grubs and Ghosts segment on Virginia Paranormal YouTube channel. Hungry and freaked out. That's a good place to be. I don't know. Ghost hunting shows are kind of weird to me.
Yeah, some of them are quite obviously staged too. Like I know I liked there was one set at Penn State. I forget what it was called. It was like Penn State Ghost Hunter. I don't remember, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. And then they were showing how they were putting like cold soda cans under blankets to make it like show up as like oh, look at that. They would take the reading and they go, look at that temperature thing there. And then they found out they were putting like cold soda under the blanket to make it show up that way.
Right. Ghost Adventures, right?
I actually have to get going because I just got an email that I need to address.
No problem. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Hey,
I'm just
thanks
gonna
for
wrap
having
it up
me.
anyways. Anytime, man. Anytime. I'm hoping to do more this coming year. So stay tuned, everybody. Enjoy. All right, man. Take it easy. Let's see here, dude. Yeah, Remember Me from TNG was a good one. Dude, I kind of agree. I'm not much of a ghost hunter person, paranormal person. I liked it when South Park made fun of it, to be honest. Let's see here. Yeah, no, the original series from the 60s and the movies that followed are my favorite Trek era. Dude, I love the original movies, but my favorite era is the TNG era just because it has so much in it. DS9 is my favorite show. But that's all right. All right. Ew, ghosts, right? I used to watch Ghost Adventures. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't go out of my way to freak myself out. Thank you very much. That's why I don't like horror films. Let's see here. Worst stages show ever. Curse of Oak Island. Ha. Oh, I could go on about that one for a little bit. Okay. My dad loves the Curse of Joke Island. Yeah, let's tune in next week where we drill another hole. Oh my gosh. That's almost as exciting as American Pickers. God dang it, I hate those shows. The History Channel sucks, by the way. They don't have anything history on there. I'd say the closest thing history they have is freaking Ancient Aliens. Okay? Pawn Stars, garbage. All of it, garbage. Right? All right, guys. No, it's been fun. Like I said, oh, see, there you go. There you go. Halo looks good, man. I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm looking forward to that. Dude, that's what's awesome about the Animal Planet is when any kind of animals just start going at it. Never seen the gorillas though. I imagine that'd be pretty cool. Let's see here. Dude, I love the Power Rangers, man. Shoot, that was my jam. Pawn Stars. What a joke. No, sorry. I mean, I get it if you like it and everything, but like to me, that's part of the TLC trend where it was like, let's have a show, reality show, but people working. What an idea. I couldn't stand it. It's like those shows that like Monster Garage and anything where it's like a shop and they have a confessional room. It's like I've worked at a shop. It's like, man, if I had a confessional room, I'd be like, I hate that motherfucker. I hate working with him. He's always pissing me off. You know, just a way to vent your frustrations, but never happened. Yeah, right. Found nothing. 10 seasons on. Yeah, best I can do. 30 and prawns. Oh, did you say Prawn Stars? Yes, you did, Prawn Stars. I am bad at reading. Okay. I know a little secret about me today. Yeah, no. No, I never watched them in the first place. Yeah, hopefully we get that win on Sunday and make the playoffs. Go Niners. Hoping for the best. But anyways, yes, like I said, any of my friends that are Snyder fans, you could talk to me. You know where I sit on things. I've told you where I'm at. Dude, unlimited shrimp at Red Lobster is where it's at. You know, you don't even know. Bye, Belle. See you later. I'm not hating on anybody. I'm just saying from my own perspective why the Snyderverse is dead to me. It's all good. Doesn't need to start an argument or anything like that. We can all have a good time. But facts are facts. WB owns the property and they have the final say so. And from what they've said thus far is not going to happen. So that's where I'm going to sit until I hear something different. Yeah, is what it is. Until then, folks, let me find something good to send us out on maybe. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
And remember, at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
All right, everybody, take it easy.